Welcome to Barefaced and Bonnets. I'm A. Renee.
I'm Kay Nichelle.
And I'm Asia Simone.
And we're back.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Asia, what we talking about this evening?
So, for those that are just now tuning in, this is Barefaced and Bonnets, where we get to the raw, we get to the real, and we do it unapologetically because we said what we said. Now what?
Period. And if you don't like it, now's a good time to just go ahead.
Get on out of here because we finna talk about this.
Let's talk about it.
So today we're getting into GoFundMe's. Let's get into it.
Are we not tired of them? Okay, so listen. Here's my issue with GoFundMe. I want to be supportive of as many people as I possibly can, right? And so when they are legitimate, by my definition of legitimate, I want to support them. But if it's because Cousin Pookie caught a bullet or a case, I don't think you should put that out there to the world. I think y'all need to stop telling y'all family business through GoFundMe's.
What about little Amanda, who's had three babies?
Well, when she has her fourth kid and we're throwing her another baby shower and we don't have enough money to support her, the pregnancy, or the kid. I mean, I feel like our money, never mind. I'm not going to say that. But what I'm going to say is that we tired of her too. We tired of all y'all little stupid GoFundMe's because y'all are out here making bad life decisions as adults.
I'm going to keep it even simple. Just because you graduated don't mean you need to start you a GoFundMe. If you don't send them people your Cash App, your Apple Pay, your Zelle, your Venmo, your PayPal, you ain't got to make no darn GoFundMe. We don't need to
Cash
see
is
it.
good. Yeah, I'll just pass you some cash in a card.
I cannot stand that people really want the world to support them for doing the bare minimum. You graduated high school, bro. You were supposed to.
That was your one goal.
And the world does not owe you $20 because you did what you were supposed to do. Congratulations.
Now, it's nice because it can go towards some books in college, some school supplies. But like,
they ain't not even going to college.
If you don't get that, if you're not headed to higher education, what you need $20 for?
Well, no, I won't say that because if you're heading into the real world, there are a lot of people, especially culturally, we know within our culture, people think you turn 18, you an adult, you should get out. And so, yes, sometimes people need assistance, but I do not believe that every time a life experience happens, we need to start a GoFundMe because there are way more ways to be able to be prepared for said life decisions. For example, my grandmother died, so I need to start a GoFundMe. Grandma been alive all these years, and y'all ain't think to get no insurance on grandma?
Grandma ain't got no insurance on grandma?
Normally, if it's a good grandma got insurance on her spouse, her ex-spouse, her kids, your kids, and everybody else's
kids.
And grandma done had policies she been paying for since when your mama had thought she was pregnant with you. And so grandma is prepared. But when your grandma also is not
probably
prepared,
got some hidden cash somewhere too.
Well, and if y'all cannot come together as a family and bury grandma, y'all are out here raggedy as all get out, and stop embarrassing your family by putting it on GoFundMe.
Okay, so listen.
I'm tired of it.
So I was getting my hair braided. And not by my recent braider. But so I was getting my hair braided one time, a couple times, and the girl put me in a timeout per se. She put me on hold so she could call her creditors. She called the light bill, the gas bill, the water bill, and the phone bill people. All them people, right? She called all these companies, made payment arrangements, and then went on vacation, right? Then about a week later, I look up, and she got a whole GoFundMe account. I'm like, well, what are we funding you for? Because who funded your vacation?
Well, the light bill, the water bill, the gas bill, the cable bill funded her vacation because she put it on a payment arrangement. Boo, they didn't get their money. She needs you to help them get their money. And my thought is, when you have a talent that you can use to be able to provide for yourself and your family, like braiding hair, if you don't run a braid special and braid hair until 2 a.m. so that you can make sure stuff is provided for, like, come on, sis, you way too talented to be playing yourself like that. And we got to remember that the internet is real life, and we know y'all in real life. Like, We know, we seen y'all. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. And now you want me to support your GoFundMe? You better and go sit down somewhere.
Into the shop. Into somebody's head.
I'm not fingertips is numb. Do what you do.
I'm not supporting your GoFundMe. I'm not supporting cousin Ray Ray, cousin Pookie Nim, cousin somebody because they got caught up on a charge. Free cousin. Mm-mm.
You don't want to free them people's cousins? Okay, first of all, let's talk about that because what did you get caught up for?
No.
What did you do for the laws to come after you? Because I don't support all criminal activity. I would just put that right there. I don't support all criminal activity. Some things are justified. But what did you do for them people to come after you and get locked up?
Now, okay, let me say this. So in a previous episode, we talked about the 7-month pregnant lady that pistol whooped the girl. If she had to GoFundMe, I put money on her books.
Supporting her.
We all would.
I'm gonna support
all the money on her books.
Who pinned the man to the car.
The fellow cancer sister. I'm definitely riding for my cancer sister.
I got $20 for her. In real life, though, we got to do better as a community. If we're being 100% honest, and I'm not saying every other community doesn't do it, they do. But I'm not talking to them, and I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about us. GoFundMe is not insurance. It's not health insurance. It's not life insurance. It's not car insurance. All of those things, the time that you have spent creating a GoFundMe, you very well could have had in a payment plan monthly. And so we have to do better within our community, being able to say, you know what, we need insurance and how can we get it? And if you're really having honest conversations, there's so many different ways, from a pre-burial plan with a funeral home to being able to take care of your policies through them. There's so many different ways for us to be more prepared for when life happens that we are not tapping into. And so I don't want y'all to think that we're like anti-GoFundMe for things that matter. Yes. Like, for example, if you're a mom and you're working your butt off and you can't afford to get your kids back to school supplies, I got $10 for you. I got $20 for you. I'll help you get books for your baby, because all children have a right to have access to the things that they need to be successful. Absolutely. Those GoFundMes, I have no issue with. If you a teacher, I got money for you, because y'all give a lot of your own money.
You tell me what's on your list, and I will. What's
on your list? Hey, shout out to the teachers, and create Amazon lists and post them to y'all's Facebook. So
I will repost. I will share. I get something off your list. We gonna support those that are supporting others. Absolutely. Yes.
But if you just out here raggedy, we tired of y'all.
But that brings up a bigger conversation. I know we kikiing and we joking about GoFundMes, but let's talk about.
We wasn't joking.
I mean, we weren't joking about not supporting, but we joking about them people. But the problem comes from the lack of financial literacy. And I know us as a family, we've had this conversation.
Yes,
and boy, if my daddy ain't run financial literacy through my skull, listen, we ain't never gonna be struggling over here, because by God, he has ran it to the ground. But that's the problem that, I mean, leads to a lot of these people having to do GoFundMes, because they don't have that education, they don't have the literacy, and they think, well, if I can't hustle for it, I'm gonna just ask other people.
But you know what? The unfortunate is that it seems like we live in a society where people have this mentality where people owe them something. I'm sorry, I don't want to come to your memorial service or your funeral and you laying there with your Gucci belt and your red bottoms and they did a whole GoFundMe account for your funeral. That's the problem.
Can I also say, just as a side note, has nothing to do with GoFundMe. If I go to another funeral and somebody is standing up instead of laying down, I'm going to tip them over and walk out. Please stop standing your family members up.
What do you mean standing up?
Okay. So Mom and I went to a funeral one time. If this is your first time tuning in, Renee is my mother. She is Asia's aunt. So go tune into the first episode where we talk about our family relationship. So anywho, we went to a funeral for a gentleman who was a part of a certain denomination who I will not name because I ain't got time for them people to be coming after me. And he had a position within a certain denomination, which I won't name because then it probably will give away the denomination. And again, I don't have time for them people to be coming after me.
Okay.
And at his funeral, they had that man standing upright like this in all white in a glass case like this. Like he was suited and booted. Bro was clean. As my grandfather says, he was clean as the board of health. suited and booted, and they did a whole
It
procession,
was.
like literally announced who was coming next, like almost slightly like a Soul Train line. We sat in that funeral for so freaking long. I was like, I am hungry and I'm annoyed, and if one more person got a title, I'm about to knock over everything. People, don't go fund me no more funerals, and then let your family member lay down. Just let
They
them lay
supposed to be
down.
resting anyway.
They still running for Jesus because they ain't tired yet.
I was tired. Of the processional took 35 minutes minimum, and I was tired.
How you gonna rest and you on your feet in the afterlife? That's crazy to me.
I mean, and I'm like, y'all did a whole lot for somebody going in the dirt. He don't even know y'all did all this. Like, do this while I'm alive.
Since we own funerals, what about the funerals where they change people's clothes?
They do what now?
Oh yeah, girl.
I'm gonna tell you now. If I go to a funeral and they change people's clothes, I won't know, because when they do that intermission, I'm out.
They did that. They do that praise break, and while you breaking, they slide that casket out the side door, go back there and change up that person, and they come back. And mind you, the casket is fully open. It ain't like your feet and your legs is covered. No, it's a full open casket. You praise break, come on back out. Boom, here they are laying there with a whole new outfit.
Let me tell you who finna praise break to their car. Me. No, ma'am. No. I will put on some gospel in a car. Because what is we doing? Changing the whole thing.
I am so tired of funerals becoming productions. And I will tell you this. I said it to my mother. She is very well aware that before I argue with anybody regarding her service, I will bury her on a random Tuesday. And it's gonna be by invitation
on a random Tuesday.
It's gonna be by invitation
on a random Tuesday.
I want to be buried on a Saturday when people don't have to go to work and they can come and love on my family. But she did.
I don't need their love. I don't need their love. And if they dare, and I know you don't like them, I'm gonna be like, she didn't even like you. Why are you here?
Listen, I will be security at the door. Where's your invitation?
We got a guest list.
Where's your invitation? You are not even in the proper attire. Gone.
People be doing the least. And I don't have time for the least. And Alice already wants the most. Now, she don't want an outfit change. But sis want a red casket. She want people to walk in with tea lights singing this little light of mine. It's already a production and she's still here. So if I got to do all of this while being upset that my mama gone, the last thing I'm going to do is deal with your foolishness. Now, there will not be a GoFundMe because Alice has done what she needed to do. But it's going to be a slight production. Oh, also, Asia, I have told your auntie that I am not printing programs. It will be a QR code, and you're gonna need to scan it.
I'm with the boomers. I'm not trying to QR code scan everything in this world. Please,
you're gonna need to QR code it.
Give me the paper.
Because you know what she said.
What all people do is leave it on the dang.
Leave the programs on the seat.
That's fair.
But you know what?
That's true.
Y'all are so creative that I know that my program will be absolutely amazing. That people want to take it home. Be like, you know what,
girl? If I do it as a QR code, it could be animated. You could have
we just gonna put it on a little video on a projector like we did for my wedding. We just gonna have it scrolling.
If we do it digitally, there is a lot more options than if I print people paper. It's a waste of
do it like a digital invitation. You just email it.
When I tell you that the cost of printing programs, if you go through a funeral home, Asia, because I've had to do this a few times, right? And I worked with Granny to get Pawpaws done. I just did my grandfather that just passed in February. If you go through the funeral home, they charge you upwards of $6 per program. $6. And that's like a 4 to 5 page program. And that's like literally 8.5 by 11 in half. And now I'm not doing that with y'all. Like, if you want to go fund me something, go fund me programs, because programs is expensive. I got $10 on the funeral program.
I throw a little something on the program.
I know she gave to the community. She was always having back to school events and women conferences. Can we get this GoFundMe for Alice's programs?
Alice is getting buried on a random Tuesday because I'm not doing it, child. These people. Because it's hard enough. Mom was talking about she want people to love on the family. I don't. I actually want to be roped off.
She said, keep that. Where's that? Don't bring that. No parts here.
Because what happens is, since we're talking about funerals, what happens is, I will never forget when my father died, people were calling me and I was consoling them. What the hell? That was my daddy. Why am I on the phone with you, consoling you, and I'm over here having to keep a level head and keep my stuff together when I should be the one falling apart? I would prefer to be roped off. The next person that dies, just throw me.
Girl, now we gotta create a VIP section at the funeral.
It is. I'm gonna tell you now. When our beloved grandmother passes on, please understand. Don't touch me.
Don't talk to me. Don't look at me.
Don't talk to me.
Nothing.
Don't ask me nothing.
When the good Lord calls her home,
because I'm gonna be drugged down and out like this with my feet. Y'all just got to drag me through.
I'm gonna need y'all to get off these funerals and come on back over here because y'all lost it.
Am I lying? Mama, am I lying? Who got something?
Y'all lost it.
I'm not lying. I won't.
The point
Asia,
is,
I'll look offsite.
Let me just say
this.
I
asked Granny.
I'm gonna look at Kiana. I'm gonna look at Tawana. I'm gonna look at Asia and say, "Get it together."
And I'm gonna be like,
I won't even see it because my eyes gonna be closed. The tears gonna be blind. I won't even see you say that. I won't even see you say that. And I'm gonna act up again just because I heard somebody talking to me and I thought it was Granny. I'm gonna lose it again.
Girl,
I'm gonna lose it.
I'm gonna act up. Y'all gonna have to keep her casket open the whole time because as soon as you go to close it, I'm gonna start screaming. Just know.
Listen, you're gonna see the three of us running towards that casket. Hold on, Granny, we
No, ma'am.
No,
Shoot. No, man.
And I'm not.
Then she gonna raise up and she gonna look at y'all and say, "Stop all that noise and sit down."
Like, it's a miracle, y'all. The Lord that gave it back. Praise God.
He said, "Listen, Helen, go down there and deal with your grandkids. They ain't got no act
clearly
right.
It's not your time because they don't know how to.
It's not your time. They don't know how to
go. Real talk.
But she won't have a GoFundMe. I tell you that.
I was just getting ready to say, because guess what? She 82 years old and she done already took care of her business. All of it.
Man, and I never knew how. It's amazing when you grow up in the things that you learn, right? And so we were blessed to have our grandfather into adulthood. Mm-hmm. And so losing Paul, I really saw how much Granny had together. First and foremost, the paperwork was older than me, and it was paid for. His funeral was paid for in the 80s, the early 80s at that, right?
And hers was too.
And hers was too. And that was back in the day when they used to come to your home and write out your plan. And my mom told me, like, I remember being here at the house when the owner of the funeral home came and sat down and did their paperwork. And that's not what we see anymore. Now we do see the GoFundMes. We don't have the relationships in our communities anymore with the Black-owned funeral homes. Like, we just are out here running amok. But she was so together. Their programs were done. Like, literally, I sat down at the table with Granny and she couldn't put her hand on his and she asked me to do it. We just sat down and typed, and she was so on point with it. And I was like, because of how she showed up as the oldest grandchild for my other set of grandparents, I went back and said, hey, yo, we need to type up y'all's obituary because there's a lot of information that I don't know. And then we went and updated it as life kept happening. You know, they lost siblings and things like that. But her being on point was the information that I needed to ensure that if something were to happen, I'm on point. Everybody has everything. They know what I want. And so all we're saying really is not that GoFundMes are bad. It's that we have other options and we shouldn't be waiting to the last minute to explore them. So
it's about having those hard conversations.
Yeah, we don't like
family members. It's hard. And if you are an emotional soul like me, you really don't be wanting to hear none of it. But I've had to have that conversation with my mom and my dad about what is the game plan when they pass. And I have siblings as well. So how funds are being split up, how property is being split up, how this is going that. And as the eldest, I do get extra. But we had to have those conversations, and it's hard and it's awkward and it's uncomfortable because I never want to think about the day that I'm going to have to send my parents home to Jesus. I don't want to think about that because in my head, they're going to be here forever. Now, realistically, I know better.
That's not going to happen.
But
I'm glad you said realistically.
Realistically, but you have to have those conversations. You have to have a game plan in place. And even if like somebody like myself, I'm the youngest one here, but life happens to everybody. It don't care how old you are. It don't care your financial status. It don't care what you got going on. It don't care if you had a big plan to do this. You have to have a plan in place for yourself. Honestly, as soon as you hit, depending on what state you live in, 17, in my opinion, because so many things can go wrong the second you step outside your house. I mean, you could wake up and things could go wrong. You may not wake up. You know what I mean? So having those plans for yourself, even as young as I am, I don't have any children. I just got a husband. I ain't even got no pets. Still, I have financial assets. I have things that I own and that belong to me. And if God forbid something were to happen to me today, I would need a plan in place so that my husband knew what to do when I went on to seeking Jesus. You know what I mean?
He just gonna call your daddy.
Girl. And they gonna be boohooing together.
Who gonna help? Who gonna help both of them? Who gonna help them?
Mama.
Who gonna?
Granny.
But here's the thing that
we
I
gonna have
think
to fly her in because we not.
I think people need to understand and the importance of what it is that we're talking about, even though we're kind of hee-heeing about, the whole piece of it. But a lot of times people will say, well, because of my health, I can't get life insurance. You may not be able to get life insurance, but you can get burial insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just what you said, Asian Kiana. There are so many different ways around GoFundMe accounts. When Big Mama go to lay her last, lay her head down for her final rest, you just don't have to have a GoFundMe account for Big Mama. And then here's the thing that killed me. People will go and have a whole GoFundMe to bury a loved one, but they got every bottle of liquor.
Oh, the repast be lit.
The repast is lit. So I'm sorry. We doing what again? Nah, we ain't doing that.
It's one of those things that you just have to be prepared for. You have to take care of business before you get to that point, not after, not during. When you're still healthy as a horse, because you could still be healthy as a horse and the Lord come knocking in the middle of the night. Right. You gotta take care of yourself, and that means, like I said, coming back to that financial literacy is being prepared. Like you said, even if you can't have health insurance, having that burial insurance, and health insurance does not have to be expensive. To be fair, people who have corporate jobs, pay attention to what you're signing when you're joining those corporate jobs, because they have those benefits implemented for you. They are paying for you every year, whether you know it or not. You need to make sure you're signing up to get those benefits. Every job has something for you. You just need to make sure you do it. And then finding those smaller companies that are willing to work with what you have within your budget to provide that coverage and that protection. It's that important.
And then being able to, like, as a mom, I'm a mom of two amazing girls. As I am planning my life out, right? So I like jewelry and I like nice jewelry. And so one of the things that, like, Mark and I buy nicer jewelry, he buys me nicer jewelry. And so when he does, I actually keep count of how many that I have so that I can keep an even number, so that when I die, my girls don't have to argue. There's not going to be you got 5 and I got 4. Now y'all both got 4 and 4, or y'all got 5 and 5. And it's funny because it's like, oh, you're just trying to get more jewelry. I literally have sat down and yes, and I have been witness to family members fighting over things that are worth absolutely nothing. A vacuum cleaner. I knew that's where you were going, and that's exactly where I was going. I will never forget people fighting over a vacuum cleaner that they didn't even buy.
That I bought.
She bought it, and it went back home with her.
No, that's crazy.
In a TV that was given to somebody from a godchild that ended up going back to the godchild. And so before I ever put my daughters in a position to have division over stuff, I'm going to try and keep it as equal as possible. And sometimes you can't. Like, Asia, I know with you being the oldest, because I talked to your father, and he's like, yep, we sit down. I took an inventory. This is what I got. Who won what? Who wants the watches and the this and the that? Like, he literally broke it down, and it's in a document. And as he amasses more, it's being added.
He sends it to us.
Yep.
And in case my sisters weren't aware, I still get my 34% heifers. In case you thought you was finna come up, I still get my 34%.
33.
Y'all get your 33. I get my little 35. Okay.
Let me say this: when something happens to your mama, y'all ain't none of y'all gonna get none. It's gonna be Marley, Bentley,
and Stormy.
She leaving everything to the dogs.
Can y'all imagine Bentley walking around with her 25-year ring? I'd be pissed.
I'm gonna tell you now, the way the dog comes up missing. Your daddy got a lot of land. That's all I'm gonna say. The way the dog come up missing.
Well, we say we don't want to be any type of accomplice to any type of crime.
But that 25-year-old ring is banging. Y'all welcome, by the way. I was part of that situation. Y'all was welcome.
You know what?
I gave him the tea.
My mama is probably not gonna go to near one of us. It's gonna go in somebody's museum on display and stay in the Blanton Trust Fund somehow. She not letting nobody touch that ring. Nobody.
I'm not mad at her.
That's not a bad thing because I've seen that ring and it's gorgeous.
That thing.
So, Mom, you made a comment about people going and buying stuff. Sorry, I have a small person that's dancing around and waving. I'm a mom first.
Hey, look, cuz.
You want to hug me? She wants to hug me. So y'all, come on, she's out to me.
Nana's Ava. Hi, Ava.
All right. So everybody, this is my youngest Ava. Hello. Okay, go bye. Daddy's upstairs on the other call.
Hello.
Y'all know she likes the camera.
Listen, we're gonna have to bring her in on a guest episode.
Please don't. I won't be here that day. And so I just want to say this because we don't realize the power that we have within our community. And so here goes a stat. Based on the most recent estimates using 2020 and 2021 data, it indicates that if communities pursue equity in the form of narrowing Black-white differences in household income, Black purchasing power could jump from $976 billion to a potential of $1.6 trillion in the U.S. Baby, the money is in our community, and we know that it is, which is why a lot of other communities capitalize off of the things that we like.
Absolutely.
Like our hair supplies and getting our nails and our feet done and different things. Like it's very hard for Black people to break into hair store businesses, and they sometimes get shut out through distributors and things like that. And it's because other communities know that the purchasing power of the Black dollar is huge, but we have to learn how to save. We have to learn how to be prepared. And
how to properly invest too.
Please, if you don't have the financial literacy, there is so many different ways for you to get it. First and foremost, your local library has books. Read a book. And if you have more questions, go to your bank. Schedule some time with the personal bankers at the bank. I know Bank of America normally has a Merrill Lynch person sitting in there. And normally your first conversation is free because they're wanting you to sign up.
Right.
So if you don't have any basis of financial literacy, please, just like we scroll TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, y'all, and YouTube can teach you a whole lot. Y'all, let's use these platforms for more than laughs and jokes.
They say you make time for the things that you want that are important to you. So make
that
time, y'all. It's important. Make the time. Help build that Black community. Make that time.
And that's real. For me, I stop and think, and I'm grateful all the time. And I say this to Kiana and my mom and just you guys as family. I'm like, there are so many of my girlfriends whose spouses have died and they no longer live in their houses. They have lost their homes or they've had to move in with their children. And I say all the time, I'm beyond grateful because that's not my story, right? And it's not a bragging because I don't brag about it at all. I'm beyond grateful. I'm thankful that somebody taught me, right? Because one of the things that we are as a people, we are some prideful people. We're prideful. We can be going through and you won't know because that's just who we are. I don't went, I'm like, we out here picking up cans. We out here selling cans. We out here cooking chicken dinners. We doing what we got to do to make sure we take care of our homes. And again, not by way of a GoFundMe account because I bit off more than I can handle. And so for me, do I think GoFundMe accounts are good? I do. Just what Kiana said, when they're used properly.
Correct.
For me, having 2 grown adult children and having grandbabies, every time I go into the hospital, I make sure my documentations are updated and Kiana knows where to find my paperwork. Kiana, Deontay, this is where my paperwork is. She's like, Mama, I don't want to hear that. Okay, but you need to because I need you to understand my life insurance is here. My car information is here. My house information is here. This is who this is through. This is who this is through. I have diamond earrings. Okay, the girls' ears aren't pierced. Get their ears pierced and put them diamonds in their ears, right? But even with my
I don't know why she seems to think that the earrings are going to skip me before it gets to my... I got
if that's what's in her will, them diamonds going in the
girl. Her will also says she got to be buried on a Saturday, but it might be a Tuesday. I'm just saying what I'm saying.
Because she has diamond earrings, right? And these are things
I got 2 holes.
Girl, hush up. So for me, I have probably 3 pairs of diamond earrings. You can have a pair. But even with my bags and stuff, right? Like one of my goddaughters, she said to me one day, she goes, "Mom, I really want that bag. Can I have that bag?" And so she wrote a note and I did sign it. And Kiana said, "But if you and mom is not in good standings when she die, you will not
You're
get
not
that
getting
bag."
that bag.
Not
And
you
I
put
told
an
her
addendum on her bag.
I did put an addendum on her bag because if my mama hasn't spoken to you in 15 years and you come looking for that bag, I'm going to take the paper out and paper cut you. Period. And it's not that I don't love her, but I am so tired of people showing up when they haven't been. If you don't give my mom her flowers when she's here, don't come around when she's gone. And that's the thing. And so I did put an addendum because all of her stuff when she go belong to me and my brother. That's it. These kids is secondary. And she has different things in her will about certain nieces getting certain things. Like if something were, she was having a surgery, if something were to happen to her, there's a particular niece who's good with her, great niece, good with her hands. And she said, I told her that I would pay for her to go to school to become a massage therapist. And I was like, well, first you got to get through high school, which she did. Praise God. Amen. But right now she's not pursuing that. But if something happens and she comes back later in life and says, hey, I would like to, if you and my mama weren't on good terms when she died, I'm not paying for that. And I also don't believe in someone seeds into dirt that ain't gonna grow nothing. Like when the dirt is just hard, that don't make sense to me. And so if I know that she is somebody that starts stuff and doesn't complete it, why would I pay for you to go to school? That means you're gonna waste my money.
Right. That makes sense.
So I said what I said, and if her and her godchild ain't on good terms, I'm gonna throw that piece of paper in the trash and act like I never saw it. And wear the purse to the funeral and dare somebody say something.
She said what she said. Isn't that what
And
we
did.
said? I said
I
what I
wear the
said.
purse to the funeral just so I know which purse it is.
Girl, the next time you go
like, that's
visit
the one.
mom,
That's the one.
That's that bag.
It.
And it's a bad bag. That's why I was mad. My mom was like, "Yeah, you can." I'm like, "Negro, did you ask me?" Felt some type of way. But I want to say,
you know what's so funny that she says that it's one bag out of how many bags? I'm like, now
I mean, we should have had a discussion. That's my thought.
We should have had over this bag.
It should
have. And
here's
the thing, Asia, you would think that I have just one bag.
That's the only bag you got.
I have a plethora of bags, and guess who gonna get them?
Caney
I'm gonna get that
this
one
is
too.
The
if
same
they not
child
on the
that
good.
listen. This is the same child that I said, listen.
Oh Lord.
I am larger than you. I have a full length fur. I have a Renee inside my fur. I said, I already talked to the people to see if they could do different things with the fur, right? Because it's long, it's gorgeous. I'm like, you can make a jacket, you can make a vest, you can do a hat. They do different things with furs. So if you want to take my coat and you want to do whatever, you want to make yourself a small coat, you want to do the hat, you want to do gloves, do all of that. All that belongs to you. She ain't got to worry about that. And listen, at least recently I updated my paperwork that said, if Deontay has a wife, make sure you give her some earrings or something.
She's getting nothing. But
make sure you are fair.
There's no such thing as fairness.
I remember Mama telling us, if something happened to me and Jennifer wants some hats, Alice, you get dibs of the hats first because you wear hats. And then if Jen wants hats, make sure you let Jen get some hats too. No problem.
And I was like, but I like hats. And she was like, well, after Auntie. Hats. Yeah, I'm like, these hats is bomb. I don't understand. Why are we? I will say this: if Deontay
has get first dibs at them hats, just because we're gonna have them a little longer. So I just feel like
I agree with you on that. If Deontay has a wife and she is in good standings with our family, i.e., we like her and she like us, and everybody's well, sure, I'll give her something. We'll figure it out. Pat on the back, a program at the funeral. I don't know what it is.
I
mean, that's why I keep my information updated. That's why I keep my information updated.
Have a seat. But if he has children, it would behoove me more to make sure his children have something from you than his wife. And it's no offense to the wife, but she ain't been in the trenches. Like raising you is hard, Alice.
It is.
She
We gotta
said
get.
raising me.
We gotta gather you a few times a day.
It's
'Cause you be out
hard.
here
Raising
wild.
your
I
parents.
raised my,
You be out here wild.
Raising your parents is difficult. I will
Listen,
say
and raising
this.
your auntie is just as hard. Okay.
Listen,
I
it
be in
takes
there
a
having to get my
village.
belt too.
It takes a village to raise these adults.
didn't I tell
Woo.
y'all like to double team me? I said
Oh
that
my
before we
God.
even pressed
We
the
said what we
record
said.
button.
Move.
The truth. The truth. The truth.
Oh,
Okay.
look at that
So
actress.
let me
Somebody
just-
give her Oscar, child. Look at her.
Girl, she got to get behind Angela, and Angela ain't got hers, so Alice ain't getting hers either. They don't like giving black women them awards.
This little podcast with your
Anywho.
little blowing nose.
I will say this, just so y'all know, GoFundMe is not a bad thing right now on GoFundMe. They do have a Go Find You, Fun Dreams, Passion, and Calling. It's a whole section on there about Celebrate Black Joy, where you can support Black people doing positive things through GoFundMe. So I just wanted to highlight that. We are not sponsored. I don't know these people. So if you go give your money to somebody, that's on you. All I'm saying is that there is a ton of ways for us to support people doing positive things. And so that is somewhere where I feel like that's a worthwhile investment, not cousin Ray, Pookie, Amanda, and Nim's funerals, baby showers. And I graduated from kindergarten for the third time.
Not the
Any
third
words of wisdom?
time.
Just saying. Hey, Renee, any words of wisdom?
Listen, yes, I, as always, want to tell you guys that I care about you and I want you to care about yourselves. So, what does that mean? Take care of your physical, your mental, and your spiritual. Those are so important. Again, drink you some water every day, as often as you can. Make sure you're eating healthier every single day. Just try to eat a little bit better than the day before. And then get you some exercising in, whether it's jogging, walking. And you know what? If it's too hot outside, walk around your house, your apartment, your condo, your townhouse. Hi, Ava. But make sure you are doing some form of exercise. Get those muscles moving, get that blood flowing. And then always take some time for yourself, whether it's sitting quietly, reading a book, get you a good bubble bath, whether it's your one-on-one time with God or even just some one-on-one time for yourself. But whatever you do, love yourself enough to take care of number one. You only get one you, physically, mentally, spiritually. Take care of you. That's it for me, guys.
Okay, well, that's great. And we want you to do all of that. But if you can't do all of that, just remember these words: drink water and mind your business. Because minding your business is free. And if you drink enough water, it will make sure that you are running to the bathroom and you won't have time to mind nobody else's business. Okay?
And if you can't do that, all I gotta say is make that money. Don't let it make you.
Don't let it make you.
Don't let it make you. And while you out there making that money, listen, we all hustling. So make sure y'all follow, you like, you subscribe, you comment, you share. Post to your mama page, post to your cousin page, Pookie, and then while they talking about that GoFundMe, send them to this post right here. Okay? Because we got
matter of fact, when you see the next GoFundMe, go ahead and post.
Just put this in the comments.
Throw it in there. Just throw
tag
it in the bag.
Tag them.
Hashtag Barefaced and Bonnets.
Listen, this has been the Barefaced and Bonnets podcast, where we bring it to you real, raw, unedited. This is a family affair. Somebody play my girl Mary J. And we'll catch y'all next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Shout out to Asia J in the background.
Woo, woo, woo.
See y'all later.